ahead and say why you didn't like the album.
I wouldn't say.
Go ahead and say why it was whack.
I wouldn't know.
You mad because he dissed Logic? And you attacked him hard.
Yeah, he did.
Go buy my album, bitch nigga, and all that.
Did Logic ever respond?
Would you? Would you respond? This man done challenged Jeezy. You really think Logic's gonna say anything? Logic's like, you can have that.
Dead End Hip Hop album review, Joey Badass, All-Amerikkan Badass. So when this album, when I saw the title of the album, when we named it, I'm like, okay, Joey Badass is one of the artists that needs to be talking about social political issues. Right? Like, huh?
You say you need to?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I would lump in that needs to talk about stuff that's happening currently. He's a conscious type of rapper. He's in the know, he knows what's happening, and I think that he has a voice, right, in his style of hip hop that lends itself to that.
I felt like that about him once upon a time.
Once upon a time?
Like, I think after, were you one of the people that saw the single that he had put out? I want to say, was it Devastated? When I saw that, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Joey, over the last couple of years, he has changed a lot.
Yeah.
From 1999 when we first reviewed him to where
he's growing up. Yeah,
he's growing up, and he's trying to make his sound more accessible. And to me, when I first started listening to this, I'm like, damn, it's so uplifting. Like he's saying, you know, it just didn't sound like prototypical Joey. The lane that they were in, they weren't gonna get the same type of accolades. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard this and I saw the title, I'm like, okay, cool, Joey needs to be talking about this. But when the album started, I'm like, man, he's on his damn Martin Luther King shit. I wanted him on his Malcolm X shit. Like, I wanted Joey aggressive. But then as the album continued,
when it got to that scoop rockabye,
yes, and yo, I got a funny story.
That's like more than halfway in, though, right?
Yeah, it was. But it's like half of the album.
It took a minute to get there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's how it was for me. That's how. I mean, I felt like the beginning part was just like, okay, this is something. And then when it got to Rockabye Baby, on to the rest of the album, I was like, it woke me up. I was like, okay, cool.
Exactly. To me, Devastated, because on this project, it was the first time I heard it. I didn't hear it when he first released it.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
For me, a Joey Badass needs to have this type of content. I just felt that he was one of those artists that needed to address certain things. You know what I'm saying? Just like how we put Kendrick in that box, right?
When I hear you say that, I'm thinking sound more than the actual person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he has that old school sound. So we've always talked about how they addressed and talked about stuff when we were growing up. So since Joey had that throwback sound, when you say you felt like he's the type of person that needed to do that, I attribute that more to his sound than him speaking
content,
about stuff.
Yeah, because I never thought of Joey as a conscious rapper.
I always felt that for me that Joey was a rapper that was in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And he would talk, maybe he didn't have a whole song or a whole verse, but he would address certain like little things that were happening. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always, it just seems like to me in his music that he is in the now. You know
How is he in the now when he has a throwback sound?
Because you can have a throwback sound, but your content is still relevant to today. Like just because your sound is throwback doesn't mean that your content has to be throwback. Like you have to rap about something, right? And most rappers rap about the shit that's happening now, right? They're not rapping about the shit that's happening in the early 2000s and 90s.
Maybe I'm just not paying attention. I don't remember thinking about Joey like that.
I didn't, and I haven't listened to a Joey Badass project since the last one we reviewed, probably.
Like typically he's on some like stream of consciousness type shit. But I mean, it's cool that you want him to rap about this stuff, and I'm glad he did because he's younger, and you know the younger kids kind of need a voice like that. It might be a little bit of an echo chamber, but at the same time, it's still cool. I think I personally liked the idea of this album a little bit more than I liked the album itself. You know, I wanted to like it more, but some of the songs just didn't really pull me in like that. Like Joey's still a dope ass rapper. Right. But it wasn't, and like you were saying, it's halfway through the album, it wasn't until the track with Schoolboy that I perked up. The rest of it I was just like, alright, this is cool. Next song, this is cool. Next song, this is cool too. Devastated was the only one where I was like, I don't like this one single. Actually, it might have been another song. That's the one I'm thinking of right now.
I'm surprised he put it on the album. That came out like a very long time.
Yeah. Cause I think he like premiered like Coachella like last year, like early last year.
Miss America was nice.
Okay.
Because I really liked the concept of that song. Writing a love letter to America. No, that was, that's the same song.
That was
Why Don't You Love Me / Miss America. Yeah, same song. Babylon I thought was dope.
Yeah, Babylon was dope.
Super Predator was okay. But yeah, from 7 to 8. From Rockabye Baby and Ring the Alarm. I wanted the whole album like that.
Yeah.
Because Jesus Christ. Ring the Alarm?
Yes.
Oh, that shit was
Meechy Darko. Meechy Darko.
Well, Meechy Darko, yeah, he was dope, but it was like, he just did that hook.
I know, but it was perfect. It was perfect.
It was perfect. But Joey sounded the way I want Joey to sound. He sounded aggressive. It just sounded like angry, I'm rapping Joey. And then the Meechy Darko thing was perfect. It was nicely set in. I don't think he really needed a verse.
No, he didn't. That's why it was perfect.
When it went from Joey, where he's just running through the NASDAQ, strapping my backpack, then when it gets to Kirk Knight and Nyck Caution, they're back and forth. Man, that shit was amazing.
That was definitely the highlight of the album.
Yeah, it was.
Back to back.
Them going back and forth kind of gave me a Dog Pound feel.
Dog?
A dog pound feel?
A Dog Pound?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but no,
I think you the old dog.
Damn,
that's what I'm like, huh?
I'll be over here by myself then.
Another Dog Pound, but I didn't get a Dog Pound feel from that at all.
I don't know. Maybe I just like the back and forth, and I don't know.
Yeah, like I said before, the first half of the album, I was like, okay, this is about to be mega philosophy, where I was like, I feel like content, I love it, but I feel like I'm about to be beaten over the head with it. Until Rockabye Baby and Ring the Alarm and the second half of the album, I was like, okay, yes, I love it.
It seems like once he got the features on it, it brought him out. Right, because the first part, that first half of the album,
it was all him.
It was all him. And it was just like, damn. And then as soon as the features started coming in, it was like, this is the Joey I wanted for the entire project.
You get the Statik Selektah.
Yeah, you got Statik Selektah.
He's comfortable there.
I don't think he sounded uncomfortable in the first half.
I was about to say,
it's just not the Joey that I was looking forward to.
Yeah, musically wise.
I don't know. I feel like it was a little forced. I don't know.
The first part?
I felt like it was a little forced.
I mean, he could rap, and he was actually singing and holding a note, and he didn't sound silly. He didn't sound bad. I don't think it didn't sound forced to me, at least.
It just was not this.
It's not Joey.
It was something off. That's what I'm saying. It was something off.
From because I think for me it's like it's unfortunate that it wasn't all of like whatever that feeling we got with Rockabye Baby, right? That we had that in the top part of the album, because Joey had some things he needed to get off his chest, some things he wanted to say, like the things that were going on was affecting him.
I mean, because this thing what's been going on since he's released 1999, from 2011.
Right.
What's going on in America from just that short time to now, and like what he's been seeing as he's growing up into an adult.
We've always talked about like we want artists to put out content or to talk about things like that to address it. To address it, I think. Going back to what you're saying, it felt a little forced because it's a lot of it, right? It's a whole freaking album, you know, of him just expressing himself and getting these things off his chest, which is great as an artist. That's what you want to do. If we just could have been a little bit more buttoned up and packed together, like it would have been. It had the potential to be a really great project.
Because if I remember correctly, like he didn't sound like angry like that until Rockabye Baby. Like his voice got scruffier.
Yeah.
That's what we remember. Even when he was younger, he had that little scruffy flow
that's what I'm saying.
voice
that
or
whole
whatever.
first part, it was very uplifting. He like look at that. Look at the titles. Good Morning America. You know, so it's like he's addressing the people throughout that first half, and then that second half is
uplifting.
Huh? Well,
I think it had a light sound.
It wasn't uplifting.
But what I'm talking about is more so like him being positive. Like he's talking in a positive. You didn't get that?
No. He sounded very critical.
Like for my people.
That was critical.
But read the lyrics.
That was critical.
I don't think it's uplifting. I think he's very critical of the system throughout the album. He didn't sound like he was like, people, let's get up. We gonna be all right.
No.
It's just the sound was
just light. The sound was a little light.
Too light.
Yeah.
Maybe if he would have switched the sound.
Because it's not like let's see, because you said Martin Luther Malcolm comparison, right? So it's like it's not like Martin Luther's message wasn't strong. It just was a light-hearted strong, and The later half is more like Malcolm and more aggressive. So maybe that is what he was going for.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
maybe
I can see that. I can see that.
Maybe that's why I like the second half of the album.
Yeah, me too.
Then the first half.
Yeah,
It's like that Malcolm X part half.
Yeah, Malcolm X half.
See, I don't even think the songs on the first half were bad.
No,
Yeah, that's what no one's saying is bad.
I didn't.
No. I ain't say you
Y'all
said.
acting like YouTube comments right now. But I'm saying, like, when I listen to it, I don't think the first half sounds bad. It's just not the Joey that I'm comfortable with and the Joey that I want to hear.
Right.
I think the first half, these songs are good songs.
Yeah.
And I think they'll appeal to a lot of hip hop. And that's the good thing. Like, the message in these songs is really important. So I'm glad that he didn't make a throwback Onyx sounding album, because who's going to listen to it?
Right.
People are going to listen to this. So I think he did that on
Pretty-
purpose.
And while
That's what I'm saying.
And while I think like some of us or some people listening to this album may be familiar with a lot of the things that he's saying, the people that are buying it or that like Joey may not be. You know what I'm saying? They may not be in that world or even care. So if they listen to this, now the message is a little bit scaled back, surface level for them to kind of understand like some of the things that he's encountering in his community with his people. So, you know, I love the fact that he felt some kind of way and that he took the time out to address it. And he can go back to doing whatever he wants, but whatever he had that he wanted to get off his chest, he got it off.
And for him being so young, man, I think that's dope for him to address that too. I just wish the sound was a little different, but you know, I think.
Do you though?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you wish the sound was different?
I think if it was more so like that second half, like, I wanted more aggressive.
But who is it going to appeal to? That's
Right.
that was what I was saying
You know,
before.
and I'm
I see what
cool,
Mike's saying.
and I'm cool with him balancing out the album. I think that at the end of the day, my takeaway is that this was a very balanced album. And then I think that for a new person, right, coming into a Joey Badass project and they listen to this, and they could tie it to the time, I think it's a good project for them to come into Joey on. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you get that balance.
I don't know if like I'm new to Joey.
I'm not saying this is the best album to get
I want to
into
hear
Joey.
like him just being all critical.
I don't see why not, because it's an accessible sound. See, it always starts with the sound first. Message is always second with people, these days at least.
Okay.
That's what these kids always say. It ain't about what they're saying, it's how they say it. So when you first put an album on, especially with these first 5-6 tracks, it's a very accessible sound. This is the most accessible Joey has ever been.
Yes.
Okay, that's valid.
So
1,000.
I could see a very new person walking in being like, oh, this Joey sounds good. And then maybe when they start listening to the lyrics, that might change their minds a little bit about certain issues. Or they'll be like your typical millennial and just block out the message and just listen to it because it sounds neat. Who knows? But I agree with him. I think it's a perfect album to introduce people to Joey.
Anyway, but Schoolboy Q.
Yes, amazing. So I got a story about
Feature
that.
killer, boy.
Yeah, he is. If you want to get killed on your own track, go get Schoolboy. But I got a story. I was giving my brother a haircut, and he was like, "Hey, you hear this beat? Like, who do you think could be on this?" And I named some people. I said, no, Joey's on this. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, who would you feature on this? I said, Schoolboy. As soon as I heard the beat, I'm like, Schoolboy would murk this. So he plays the song, and it's Joey and Schoolboy, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Schoolboy?
You doing that get out? You could do doing that get out mental shit again. How you
That
call
line
that?
about the
Oh, you ain't about to
I ice in my mouth. You a fucking X-Men now? Everything now.
I think it's gonna be Schoolboy Q.
everything, Mike.
Everything. I think it's Schoolboy
Out
Q
of
and
all
Joey,
the rappers.
and Joey Badass.
Out of all the rappers,
Just by the beat, I knew
But
it.
look, if y'all watch Dead in Hip Hop, you already know I've already deemed Schoolboy the feature killer.
That ain't what we're saying.
That
I
ain't
feel you.
How you just heard the beat? It's only rap that can do this.
They can do that.
They can hear a snippet of a beat and be like, "That's a Joey Badass song." Wait, no, hold on. Kiss Mama Cleo real quick.
No, he touched the radio. On the speaker. He touched the radio on the speaker.
start chanting, Mama say no, Mama say
How y'all feel about J. Cole? I thought
his speech
He didn't sound like J. Cole at first.
No, he did.
Okay, I didn't know that
I
was
didn't
J.
know
Cole
it was
at
him either
first.
until I listened to the album the second time.
Yeah.
First time, it didn't sound like J. Cole.
Yep, the second time I was
Typically
like, oh damn,
boring.
that is J. Cole. But yeah, he didn't sound boring on that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing. I like that Joey, I think vocally, he was doing some different things. Like, you know, he was rapping loud and he wasn't sticking to like the same old shit over and over again.
Like Mike said, he was singing hooks. I like the play on Ice Cube in his Capital Steez, how he put the KKK in his title, because I think Steez had the same thing with American Corruption.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then of course,
yeah, he did.
Ice
I didn't
Cube
even think of that.
Yeah, and then Ice Cube did that as well. So I think that was a cool little play, like kind of a homage to his homeboy and a homage to the legend.
And I liked how he ended it too.
I was about to say, how come we ain't got to the last track?
Yeah.
That
American
whole
Idol.
Last third
American
verse?
Idol.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. How it was just spoken, how you transitioned from rapping to spoken word. That was crazy to me. Because at first
That's
I was
one of my
like,
favorite
is this
tracks,
like
too.
an outro? Like it fucked me up a little bit.
It sounded like an outro.
It sounded like an outro.
I mean,
technically it was, but you know, it's still a track. But the way he did exactly. And he was like still kind of rapping, because you know what I'm saying? But it really wasn't. It was really dope. It was. I think that was the best. Exactly, the best way for him to close this album.
We're so quick to pick up a gun and shoot each other, but we won't pick it up to protect each other.
Yeah.
And it was like the whole thing. It was just all the way through.
Dropping
It really blew me away. That last track was amazing.
Yeah.
I think they call me a clumsy king because I keep dropping all these jewels. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good thing he didn't push his album back, because I know we was talking about that.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to apologize, because I didn't know the whole 4-7 thing.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't have even been a conversation.
Right.
Because like
I felt the same way. I felt the same way.
Wait, what?
The whole 4-7 thing is like a tribute to Steez, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know the details, but the 4-7, like that little symbol they have that looks like a comic book thing.
Yeah.
Apparently that's something that references Steez. Maybe it's his birthday. I don't really know.
I don't know what it references.
But I know it's something
got
to do with him. So that's why he was releasing the album on that day.
And that's what the title, the KKK.
And clearly, if we knew that, that wouldn't have been a conversation.
Yeah, I felt bad after that. Yeah.
So I felt terrible. I didn't even watch the video. I was like, damn. I didn't know. People were like, that's disrespectful. Sorry. So I sincerely apologize for that. I did not know.
I do too.
Joey, man, if you watching, I don't think you had any missteps so far. I think where you are in your career is fair. I don't think that you had anything that kind of was supposed to push you over the top, but you also haven't put anything that was going to hold you back. And I think this album is a good place for where you are in your career. For me, it's not going to have much replay value because that first half just isn't the Joey that I want, but it does have the content and the message that people need. That second half I definitely fuck with, and this is something I'll probably revisit here and there. But overall, I think it was a very balanced project. I think it's what hip hop needs at this moment in time, and I think it came from a person that can project that content, that voice, and that message. So I applaud you for it. I think it's a good piece of work. And continue to do you, bro. I want more music.
Yes, Joey, if you're watching, even though I didn't really care for the first half that much because of the sound, but I do appreciate the content and everything that you was talking about. I do appreciate the second half, but I like to see, just as a fan following you since 1999, to see your growth. You know, I think it's really cool to see you grow, just, you know, as a lyricist, MC, an artist, you playing with different sounds, doing the different stuff vocally on this album. I think it's just cool. Like I said, the first half probably not like my cup of tea, but I still appreciate what you was talking about. Overall, like people say, it's a good balance out. Maybe you made that second half for someone like me, you know. So good job, man. To keep it up. Keep up the good work. Keep maturing. Keep coming up with great content.
I agree. The first half definitely was not for me, but you know, I'm one of the biggest people that complains about people that make that style of rap not saying anything in their lyrics. So I would never complain about, even if you moved in a direction that I didn't care for, I would still respect it because you're putting actual content to that type of music, something that a lot of rappers are not doing. So I think that mainstream needs your voice. You know, I still personally like that hard, tough, hardcore Joey, but at the same time, I'm glad you made an album that appeals to someone like me and would appeal to someone that likes that other type of sound. So yeah, keep doing that and keep talking about real shit because a lot of us do appreciate it.
Joey, if you're watching, I appreciate what you did on this album. I think it's one thing for me to be talking about this stuff, an old person like me, but I think it's different when it's somebody that's younger, that's in this moment now, that's growing up in this environment, to put out content that's relevant to just what's happening in the world. I can say that I've complained about, you know, and bitched about rappers not rapping about stuff, and you did that. So for that, you are to be applauded, and I'm thankful that you did that, and just continue to grow and develop as an artist, man. And I think you'll be here definitely for a while, because with this, it showed that you're diverse. You're expanding your range more with this album. So just keep doing your thing, brother. Joey X.